we be concerned if the defense does not perform outstanding in game one? Can we make a judgment off the Notre Dame game? Well, before Steve jumps in, I'm going to say you can make a judgment. Not, of course, it's one team with one style of play, but it's a very good team. And even though they're not a dynamic, explosive offense, Ohio State's defense is going to have to deal with a top 5 to 10 offensive line in the country and a running game that should be serious. And Tyler Buckner's not, certainly he's going to possibly have his jitters on the big stage for the first time as a starting quarterback, but they've gotten his feet wet, similar to what we've seen with J.J. McCarthy at Michigan, playing meaningful series, meaningful snaps against big teams in big moments, but not just gun to gun being the starting quarterback, having packages in the offense designed for Tyler Buckner. But now the spotlight's on him. There's no more Jack Cohn. He's the guy. And so I think Notre Dame, while not maybe to the explosive degree of an Alabama or Ohio State, is certainly a formidable offense to have to see there in week one.
Yeah, their offensive line is regarded as one of the best in the country, so we'll see how they do setting things up for Buckner being able to throw the football. Lost their 1,000-yard rusher, Kyron Williams. He's not back, but Chris Tyree, a sophomore, is taking over at running back. My Phil Steele tells me they have 7 starters back on offense with a new quarterback, obviously with Tyler Buckner, the sophomore, taking over. So, it seems like Buckner, is a run-pass type guy, a guy that can do a little bit of both. And to my way of thinking, this is very simple. Ohio State must stop the run. Got to get back to putting teams behind and down in distance. Too often people can run the football for 7 or 8 yards on first down. It's now freewheeling on second and short and third and short. You can do anything in your playbook in those two situations to convert the first down because the odds are with you. So got to get back to stacking up the run. And a lot of that goes back to the linebacker play that we touched on. The defensive tackle play has not been what it needed to be the last several years. And so I think that you can draw some parallels out of that game because I think Notre Dame, in some regards, will resemble some of the teams Ohio State might face in the Big Ten, like Michigan or like Wisconsin, who really fashioned themselves as being able to do both as opposed to being one-dimensional. So I think that you just want to see them play better football. If they can give up 17 to 20 points in that game, you got to like where they'll be because they ought to be able to score 5 touchdowns, 6 touchdowns, even against a pretty good Notre Dame defense. A little bit of a state of flux there as well. Only 6 guys coming back on defense. Marcus Freeman, that's his area, the defense. So we'll see what he's got. Tommy Rees, the former quarterback there, is 3rd year as the offensive coordinator at Notre Dame. So he's really kind of getting his way he likes to do business. And really nothing changed with the coaching change. Nothing really changed with Rees still being there. And what I think about with Notre Dame, people are picking them in the top 10. And that's in spite of knowing they have to play Ohio State at the beginning and they have to play at USC at the end. And, there's some other, and Clemson as well, although that is a home game for them. I mean, that's 3 potential top 15 teams right there. 2 in the top 4 right there that they have to play, and people still think they're going to end up 10-2, give or take. I would rather play Notre Dame in week 1 than play them in week 12 when they've got their offense completely figured out and are now, a little bit more explosive and able to lean their whatever it is, lean their whatever on whatever and know that they can depend on certain ways to beat people. I think there's a lot of uncertainty for them, and Ohio State's got to play off that uncertainty and slam that door on them in the first game.
Although, of course, Jim Knowles and company have to unveil a new defense and have no live bullets to come their way to test it against a a MAC school, for example, before they get the full go against Notre Dame. So
they play a pretty good offense every day in practice. So I think
they do, from what I hear.
Yeah, there were some practices you could tell in the spring. Jim Knowles was a little exasperated with his guys. Just we gave up what? What did we just do? We gave up a 40-yard touchdown pass. How? What? You know, it's like people are coming to the sideline and they're like, "Hey, man, what was I supposed to do there?" You know. So
yeah, this number 11 is pretty good. Or
exactly 7 and 11. Put your money on 7 and 11.